Welcome back, guys. So I have another tech concept here for you, tech/business concept that I wanted to go over. And it happened, or I came across it because of one of my friends who is also making content himself, and he ran into a wall when he was trying to edit one of his videos. So I figured I'd do just a little bit of research and go over what's called data rights management, or DRM. And something that I think if you're a content creator, especially a successful one, you ran into this wall already, or if you're familiar with editing videos and content of any kind, you most likely already know what this is or have an idea and have hit this wall. But I'm pretty sure the average person doesn't know. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. So I wanted to touch on this because, like I said, one of my friends was trying to edit a video that he wanted to upload, and he was trying to put background music on the video, but he got an alert basically referring to DRM, telling him why he couldn't use the song. After Googling the error message, I took a look, and that's where I found out about DRM and just did a little more research into what it is. And here we are going to go over it. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and touch on what data rights management is and why it's actually very important to know and useful, especially in the content creation space. Really, in general, I'll really say in general, but content creators of any kind, any type of creatives, would be very much familiar with this concept at some point. I can't remember if I actually posted it, but I recorded a video going over a bunch of different like legal terms and business terms when it comes to legally protecting intellectual properties or IPs. Basically, your creations that you make, your videos, your music, your artwork. There are legal ways to protect your art, your content, the stuff you've made, as well as yourself, financially and legally and otherwise, so that basically people don't try to scam you or play you or take advantage of your work and pawn it off as their own. Data rights management pretty much is the umbrella term for those other things I talked about, like patents, copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, all that stuff. The thing is, at least from what I can tell, DRM seems to focus mainly on the copyright side of things. Remember that copyright makes it known who's allowed to use a certain piece of artwork or content. So again, this applies to music, movies, TV shows, actual artwork and stuff. If you're a rap head or if you've just been into rap ever, you're familiar with the concept of sampling, because rap is the main genre of music that uses sampling pretty much, well, aside from R&B and maybe pop, but other genres like rock and country and stuff don't usually use sampling. If you're familiar with, obviously, those top three genres, rap, R&B, and pop, especially modern R&B, but just in general, then you're familiar with the concept of sampling, because a lot of musicians, especially these days, I would say most music is sampled from previous work, which means the musician, the rapper, the singer, whoever, will take some type of sound bite or some type of piece of a beat from an old song back in the day, 80s, 90s, jazz, an old rap song, lyrics, a certain bar that they use to make their own beat and stuff, and they'll insert that into their own song that they're making, put a spin on it, and they'll push it out, and boom, they have a new song that was built on the foundation of an old song, right? But we've also heard about different artists when they're trying to roll out a single or when they're trying to roll out an album, they hit like some type of delay, or a song couldn't be included on a project because the sample was not cleared. What that means is the person or people who made the original piece of work that you're sampling basically need to give you their permission to use a piece of their work in your work. And that's pretty much what DRM is in this particular situation and what my homeboy was dealing with. Basically, whatever song that he was trying to add to the background of his video that he would talk over in his video had copyrights applied to it, so that nobody could just willy-nilly use the song, especially if they tried to frame it as if they're the original creators of the song. In a more techie way of saying it, DRM has influence over access controls, which you control who has access to something. You control who's allowed into a certain space, an office space. This also applies to who's allowed to see and interact with certain pieces of information. You have government documents that the mass majority of the human population can never see. So they have to implement access controls, because if anyone can see certain documents and certain pieces of information, the general idea is that national population would most likely start freaking out, or they just know things that just don't serve them. So we block it off from most people, and only certain people will be able to see it. And like I said, if you are a content creator or a creative of any kind, be a filmmaker, actor, musician of any kind, stuff like that, YouTuber, TikToker as well. As long as we have TikTok, we'll see how long this lasts. But that same thing. If you're any type of creative, if you've ever put your mind to something and created something brand new, or kind of innovated something new from something old, then DRM is something that is for you to know and would help you, because again, it not only legally protects you, because people can't slap their name on your work and say, hey, here's the new song that's legendary, or I create a new genre of music or subgenre of rap, whatever the case is, and the wrong person gets credit, the wrong person gets opportunities, the wrong person gets money, they get all that stuff. So DRM covers that from a legal standpoint, obviously, of course, a financial standpoint. You can even say a social standpoint, because let's say if someone put out content that was considered bad or not too well received, like a hot take or an unpopular opinion, but if someone just slaps someone else's name on it and be like, I'm gonna let them take the heat for this, I'm not gonna do it, then you're suffering in replacement of someone that actually like made the mistake or the bad content. But since people know that your name is on it, they're coming after you and they don't want to hear anything. So DRM is pretty important to know for this type of work and anything creative related. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this video off here, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback for me below, share that with me in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.